Hello and welcome out to Montgomery Field in Saginaw, Ohio, the location for today's matchup between the Saginaw Sugar Beets and your Grand Lake Mariners as they step here and return home for the third of 4 games against the Saginaw Sugar Beets. This will be the last game played at home between the Mariners and the Sugar Beets. The Mariners walked away in the first matchup here at Montgomery Field against the Sugar Beets. Final score of 7-4. It was a day in which the bats were hot and they were able to score in runs. Most recently, your Mariners are coming off of a 7-6 victory against the Lake Erie Monarchs yesterday. For the Sugar Beets, they'll be coming into this one after coming off of a victory and a 9-4 victory at home against the Richmond Jazz. That was a series in which they ended up sweeping the Jazz. Mariners went 1-1 against the Monarchs. Saginaw Sugar Beets with a 22-15 record, sitting in that coveted third and final playoff spot for the Northern Division. Your Grand Lake Mariners come into this one half a game back of Lake Erie for the 6th spot. Also, unfortunately, the Mariners have been mathematically eliminated from the playoffs, but still a lot to play for. Talk about it on the other side of the break. Here comes the national anthem and then the starting lineups.
For tonight, it is my pleasure to hand over the microphone to Joel York from Second National Bank, who will sing our national anthem. Joel York.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watch were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
In case you're wondering, yes, we are starting about a half hour later than expected. That's because right at 6:30, a large rain shower came through the field and just poured down. But thanks to some turf field and a really good draining outfield, we will not have to play a doubleheader anytime soon due to delays in this one. We'll go ahead and get you those starting lineups here for your Grand Lake Mariners and the Saginaw Sugar Beets. First for the visiting Sugar Beets. The leadoff man will be Noah Marcoux, the center fielder. Cooper Marshall, the shortstop, will be batting second. Third will be Josh Williams, the left fielder. Connor Charping, the catcher, will be batting cleanup. Adam Proctor, the first baseman, batting fifth. Sixth will be Ryan Robinette, the third baseman. Sean Fannin, the right fielder, will be batting seventh. Eighth will be Max Trucks, the designated hitter, and Sean O'Keefe, the second baseman, will be batting ninth. Your starting pitcher for the day for the Grand Lake Mariners will be Michael Parsons. Michael Parsons coming into today, the starting lefty, wearing number 38, getting his 6th start, is 2-2 on the season with a 3 ERA and 33 innings pitched, punched out 26 batters, and walked 13. He's given up 12 extra base hits, which includes a home run. The man from Norfolk, Virginia, attends Dartmouth College. For Dartmouth this past spring, his sophomore season, he had 16 appearances with a single start. He went 2-2 and 29 1/3 innings pitched, had a 9.51 ERA, and punched out 14 batters. He'll be coming in, getting his final start of the season. It'll be start number 6 for him. Just gets his last couple of warm-up pitches. Here's that defense behind Parsons. Jake McCall will be playing left field today. Fitzsimmons will be out in center. R.J. Williams will be in right. Blake Crossing is playing third base today. Justin Diaz will be the shortstop. Van Acker, the second baseman, will be there, and Evan Spry will be playing first base. Tyson Hayes will be behind the plate doing the catching here today. Noah Marcoux will step in here to get his first at-bat and lead the game off. Marcoux is actually a Saginaw, Michigan native. He attends Davenport, where he's a sophomore coming up this season. Left-handed batting outfielder, standing at 6'2", hitting .291 with a .430 on-base percentage. First pitch from Parsons is swung on and missed, and we are underway here at Montgomery Field. Hello, Donovan Mann, the voice of the Mariners, bringing you all the play-by-play. 0-1 count here. Marcoux steps back in, and the delivery from Parsons bouncing out in front of the plate. Count evens up now at 1-1. Clouds remain to be in the area here in Salina, Ohio, and Montgomery Field, but the rain is believed to all be staying south of us now, just a little bit inside. That'll be ball 2, 2-1 now the count here to Marcoux. There's some showers in the area, but they're all expected to stay away. 2-1 pitch here to Marcoux. Called strike 2 right there on the high part of the zone outside to the left-handed batter. So that count even up at 2-2 on a very good pitch by Parsons there. He gets his sign, gathers his grip, and now time is going to be called here by Marcoux. Count will hold at 2-2 to the leadoff man. It is 75 degrees right now in Salina with a western breeze at 9 miles per hour. Strike 3 called here to Marcoux, and first batter will be a strikeout. 1 up, 1 down for Cooper Marshall, the shortstop. Cooper Marshall will be playing shortstop here today, wearing number 24. He is from Traverse City, Michigan. He attends Western Michigan. He looks at just a little bit on the outside part of the plate. Just a little bit outside, ball 1. 1 out, nobody aboard, no score here in the top half of the first inning. Marshall is hitting .366 with a .475 on-base percentage. He pops this one sky high, but on the infield grass, Blake crossing the third baseman calls for it, and he will make the catch. 2 up, 2 down for Josh Williams, the left fielder. To step into the box, he is a right-handed batting outfielder standing at 6'1" from Joliet, Illinois. He attends Central Michigan, just finished his freshman season out there. He hits .258 with a .431 on-base percentage. He's going to pop this one high in foul territory, and they're just going to watch that one get out of play and hit the top of the press box here. That looked like Williams was just going to try to check swing that one, and he ends up making contact with it and popping it high and out of play. 0-1 here, the count to Williams. He is lucky that it got out of play because, as I said, it hit the top of the press box. The press box right up against for the first, right here on the first base line. This one will be popped high out into left field. Jake McCall is coming in, calls for it, and makes the catch. They go in order here in the top half of the first. Tied at no score apiece. The Mariners will come out now for their first plate appearances. I'll talk about the starting lineup for the Mariners and the starting pitcher for the Sugar Beets. This is Mariners Baseball on the Mariners Media Network. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. Hello, welcome back out to Montgomery Field in Salina, Ohio. The Mariners coming up here for the bottom half of the first inning, and their starting lineup looks like this. Steven Fitzsimmons, center fielder, will be leading off. Blake Crossing, third baseman, batting second. Jake McCall, the left fielder, batting third, fourth, and the cleanup duties will be Chris Myers, the DH. Tyson Hayes, the catcher, batting fifth. First baseman, Evan Spry, batting sixth, followed by Van Acker. Second baseman, he'll be batting seventh. R.J. Williams, the right fielder, batting eighth, and Justin Diaz in the final spot. And the 9-hole, the shortstop. And the starting pitcher for the Sugar Beets is starting righty Ryan Youngbauer. Youngbauer, in his now fourth start and seventh overall appearance, he's 2-0 on the season with a .419 ERA. This one will be grounded here by Fitzsimmons to the third baseman, throws across the horn. 5-3 the play. And there's now one out in the bottom half of the first. And Blake Crossing, the third baseman, steps in now here for his first at-bat of the game. For Youngbauer, he has a .419 ERA in 19 1/3 innings pitched, 22 punch-outs, 12 walks, 4 extra base hits given up. He attends Northwestern Ohio, and he is from Waterford, Wisconsin. Blake Crossing fouls this one off past the third base fence, and we will go again at an 0-1 count. Crossing, the third baseman, stepping in here today, wearing number 10 from Newman, Georgia, and Dartmouth College. He has a .326 batting average for the Mariners. Pitch right there on the edge of the plate will be strike 2, 0-2 here to Crossing. At a .385 on-base percentage for Crossing. Youngbauer wasting no time, gets the 0-2 pitch delivered high. Ball 1, 1-2 now the count here. One out, nobody aboard, no score in the bottom half of the first inning. The 1-2 pitch is outside. Ball 2. Count evens up now at 2-2. Mariners are in their alternative home white uniforms with the blue and green stripe going from about rib cage level down. And for the Sugar Beets, outside ball 3. Count now full here to Crossing. For the Sugar Beets, it is their black jerseys with white pants. Mariners are also in white pants. Black jersey, black hat for the Sugar Beets with a white front and their Sugar Beet logo. Outside, ball 4, and so Crossing goes from 0-2 to getting walked. Very patient at bat there for Crossing, gets him aboard, and there's a one-out base runner for the Mariners. Third batter in the lineup will be Jake McCall, the left fielder, stepping in here today, wearing number 50 from Bloomington, Illinois, attends Illinois State. .292 batting average with a .456 on-base percentage. First pitch to him, an outside ball 1. 1-0 the count here. No score in the bottom half of the first inning. One out and a runner on first. 1-0 count. Check back here to second. Youngbauer delivers. Outside. Ball 2. You see what Youngbauer's trying to do. He's trying to find the outside of the zone and also trying to see if he can't get Mariners to chase. But much like Crossing, McCall didn't swing at that one. Crossing got aboard because all 4 of his balls were on that outside part of the plate. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. This one will be called at a strike at the corner, the knee-high fastball there. Count will go now 2-1. Youngbauer steps back on. Crossing does have 8 stolen bases on the season. We'll see if they decide to run him. He's tied for first on the team with 8 stolen bases. Chris Myers is the other man with 8. This one will be off the bat of McCall, going out into left field. Coming over is Josh Williams. He makes the catch, and then a throw over to first will retire Crossing, who was on second base, thinking that the ball had dropped in left center. We saw a similar play like that yesterday, except on the opposite side of it. The ball did end up be dropped by the left fielder, and R.J. Williams, who was on first going to second, didn't realize it at the time and was called out at second because he didn't get to second before the throw made it over. But it is a fly-out, throw-out, double play. The play goes 7-3. We'll now head to the top half of the second. No score here at Montgomery Field. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back on the Mariners Media Network. Michael Parsons comes back out to the mound here for the top half of the second. And for the Sugar Beets, it is Connor Sharping, Adam Proctor, and Ryan Robinette due up. Parsons pitched a 1-2-3 inning with a strikeout to the first batter. He'll be looking to do much the same here as the Mariners get back to work. Right-handed batting Connor Sharping steps in. First pitch to him, a little bit inside, ball one. Sharping wearing number 40 from Trenton, Michigan. He attends Western Michigan University, hitting .342. He's got himself a base hit here into left field. It'll be a leadoff single for Sharping, the first base hit for either side. In the top half of the second, still no score. Runner aboard with no outs. Adam Proctor hitting .208 with a .346 on-base percentage this season for the Sugar Beets. He's from St. John's, Michigan, and he attends Michigan State, where he just finished his freshman season. Parsons looks in for his sign. Checks back here. And the pitch is delivered. Rain continues to fall now here as we get a decent shower coming through here at Montgomery Field. Strike one called there to Proctor at the knees. The rain has just started up. Don't know if you can hear it in my microphone. 0-1 count here is swung on and missed by Proctor. He goes quickly down in the count, 0-2. Parsons looks back in. Gets his sign, checks back to first. He'll gather at the waist, and the 0-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Down goes Adam Proctor. Second strikeout of the day for Parsons. There's now one away, runner on first. No score here in the top half of the second. That brings up right-handed batting Ryan Robinette. Third baseman for the day. Throwing back here to first. And they do pick him off. A great throw back there by Parsons. Quick snap to Spry. And all of a sudden, Connor Sharping is erased. There's now 2 outs here in the top half of the second. Nobody aboard and no score. Play was 1-3. First pitch is called ball, a little bit low here to Robinette. 1 ball, no strikes, 2 outs. Here comes the pitch. This one will be a line drive base hit out into left field. So with 2 outs, another base runner. McCall comes over, gathers that one in, and throws it in to Van Acker to make sure that Robinette holds. So it'll be the second single of the inning, but with only 1 man aboard after Robinette was caught, or correction, after Sharping was caught on the bags. He was picked off. Rain continuing to fall here at Montgomery Field. The skies have grayed up. There was a huge hope that this rain shower would just stay south of us. That is not the case, and now you almost got to wonder, as the rain gets even heavier, if they will continue to let them play through this. But as for now, play ball. And stepping in will be Sean Fannin. Right-handed batting right fielder. First pitch to him is high, ball 1. And these aren't small raindrops either. I can just, based off what I'm hearing from the ceiling and what I'm looking at, these are some pretty big, and yeah, here comes the umpire saying, hold up, let's not play through this. So we are under a weather delay now here at Montgomery Field in Salina, Ohio. Heavy rain shower in the area. We'll get you a weather update here. It's tied, though, at no runs for either side in the top half of the second inning. I'll be back with an update here quickly, but this is Mariners Baseball live on the Mariners Media Network. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. Back out here in Montgomery Field in Salina, Ohio. Rain delay here at the field started to rain heavy, some lightning perhaps in the area. I'll get confirmation on that. If there is lightning in the area, it's a 30-minute delay. But as of right now, weather delay here. Montgomery Field tied at no score apiece in the top half of the second. Runner on first, 2 outs. This is Mariners Baseball on the Mariners Media Network. Back out in Montgomery Field in Saginaw, Ohio, the players are returning to the field after a very quick rain delay. No tarp to have to worry about here other than in the bullpens, and those aren't too much of a worry as you can have the game going and somebody moving those around, but they are still on. Nobody up throwing in the bullpen in the top half of the second of a 2-inning game so far. Top half of the second inning, it's a 1-0 count here on Sean Fannin, 2 outs. Runner on first, that is Ryan Robinette, who had a single, second single of this inning, but the first single, which was by Connor Sharping, he was picked off on first base on a snap throw from Parsons to Spry. And we are ready to get going again here. Parsons just going to get some warm-up pitches here before we go. Stepping back in will be Sean Fannin. And lefty on the mound, righty, and the 1-0 pitch. Outside corner at the knees. Great pitch there by Parsons. Count will even up at 1-1. 2 outs, runner on first. No score in the top half of the second. Back here on the Mariners Media Network in Saginaw, Ohio, Montgomery Field. Donovan Mann, the voice of the Mariners, bringing you the play-by-play once again. Throw back here to first. It's just a precautionary move to Robinette as he walks back in. Not the same similar kind of snap throw that caught out Sharping, but anyway, we'll go now 1-1, 2 outs. Pitch delivered here to Fannin, and instead it'll just be a throwback to first. We'll hold that a 1-1 count. Again, the start of this game was delayed for weather. It was delayed about a half hour because there was lightning in the area. This one will be a line drive, but right down and foul into the opposite bullpen for the third baseman, for the third base side, and that's for the Sugar Beets. Count goes now 1-2 here to Fannin. Got this game started around 7:25. Brief weather delay before we got back working here. 1-2 count here. Strike 3 called. Throw down to second. Doesn't matter because that was strike 3 called. There was no double play in order. The ball did end up in center field, but again, that third strikeout of the day for Parsons gets him out of the inning. There were 2 hits, 1 runner left aboard, no runs scored, no errors. We'll now head to the bottom half of the second, tied at no runs apiece. Myers, Hayes, and Spry due up for your Mariners. Thank you for listening to Mariners Baseball live on the Mariners Media Network. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. So here comes the DH, Chris Myers, to lead it off in the bottom half of the second. Mariners and Saginaw Sugar Beets at Montgomery Field tied at no score apiece. 2 hits in the top of this second inning for the Sugar Beets. Myers will get things going for the Mariners as returning to the mound is Youngbauer. One bouncing out in front of the plate, 1-0 here quickly to Myers. The 1-0 pitch. Myers fouls it off and back and out of play. The count will go 1-1. One count here to Myers. Left-handed batter, right-handed pitcher. The 1-1 delivery. Outside, ball 2. 2-1 the count. It's a 2-1 count here. Youngbauer steps onto the mound here. Chris Myers gets the 2-1 pitch. Off the bat of Myers, right back to Youngbauer. Makes it on a hop, drops it, but has plenty of time to flip it over to Proctor. So 1-3, 1 man up, 1 man down. Will now head here. And that means Tyson Hayes, the catcher, will check in. He bats right here against the righty. First pitch to Hayes. A little bit low ball 1. 1-0 the count here to Hayes. If I cut out here in a second, I do apologize. We're having some technical difficulties with some of the electricity as we still run extension cords here in the press box, still under construction. And so we have to run some extension cords. We're having electrical problems with it. And if I cut out, it is because the count now here to Hayes. Here, this one pops high here, high back to the field. Josh Williams will get underneath it, make the catch, and there's now 2 away. Anyway, if I cut out, it's because my broadcasting equipment does not have that long of a battery life on it right now, and it could die. But we are working to try to fix those problems before that happens. But just so you know, if I do cut out, that is why, and I'll get back to you guys as soon as possible. Anyway, 2 outs now. 2 outs now here. Bottom half of the second inning. Evan Spry, left-handed batting. The first baseman steps in. He fouls the first pitch off. He is an 0-1 count here. 2 away, nobody aboard, and no score. Youngbauer, starting righty, steps back on. He takes strike 2 there. Comes the count now. This one delivered outside. Called a ball. It's a 2-1 count here to Spry. Youngbauer steps on. He gathers his grip in the glove. 2 outs, no score. Bottom half of the second. And this one off the bat of Hayes here will go past Youngbauer, but running play by the shortstop, throwing it over to first. And Marshall throws to Proctor. 6-3. And the Mariners go in order. We are still scoreless through 2 innings of play. We'll go to the top half of the third, and for the Sugar Beets of Saginaw, it is Truck, O'Keefe, and Marcoux due up. This is Mariners Baseball on the Mariners Media Network. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. Scoreless here now in the top half of the third inning. Mariners and Saginaw Sugar Beets at Montgomery Field. Hello, Donovan Mann, the voice of the Mariners, bringing you the play-by-play. As Parsons steps back on for the third inning, he goes up first against Max Truck, the DH, who takes an inside fastball at the knee, strike one. Great pitch there by Parsons to get out in front of Trucks early. There comes the 0-1 pitch. Off the bat here, it's going to be a line drive base hit into center field. It will be a single for Truck. And for the second straight inning, a single will get the leadoff man aboard. Connor Charping, when he led it off with a single, was picked off at first on a snap throw. A really good play between Spry and Parsons. So Sean O'Keefe, the 9-hitter and second baseman, is batting right here against the lefty, will step on. Runner on first, 3 hits now for the Sugar Beets. Bunt shown here. It does make contact with the bat and then goes over Hayes' head into the backstop, but the count will go 0-1 here to O'Keefe. O'Keefe, wearing number 2, comes in today, hitting 171 with a 300 on-base percentage. He's from Standish, Michigan, and he attends Adrian College. 0-1 count here, checking back. Here's Parsons, the 0-1 pitch. Bunt showed again, pulls it back as it's outside, ball 1. Trying to make a sacrifice bunt play work here with O'Keefe and try to advance that runner into scoring position at Max Truck. 1-1 count here now, nobody out, runner on first. The delivery, bunt shown, pulls it back. It's called ball 2, and now it's 2 on the count. Rain has ceased here. Again, if you're just tuning in, we had a rain delay to start the game. 2-1 pitch here, pull back, now it's 3-1. Just that one missing outside again. Rain delay to start the game, so we ended up starting about 20 minutes later than we intended to. So around 7:25. And then we had a brief rain delay at the top of the second inning with 2 outs. The rain sense has moved out. Here comes the bunt. It'll be back to Parsons. Parsons runs over to throw it over to first. The sack bunt does advance. Truck over to second, and there's now 1 away. Runner in scoring position now for the Sugar Beets in a tied ball game of no runs apiece. And we'll go back to the top half of the batting order for Noah Marcoux with 1 out, runner on second. Marcoux struck out looking when he led off the game. Marcoux came in today hitting .291 with a .430 on base percentage. Mentioned he is the Saginaw native. He bats left here against the lefty. First pitch to him. He's taken outside, ball 1. The humidity has continued to rise here due to the rain showers. So it does bring up the possibility of more rain showers, but the skies behind us in which it comes from, cut on and missed here by Marcoux, the count evens up at 1-1. The skies in which it comes from, the storms anyway, are pretty much cleared up at this point, so hopefully that will remain the case. But you never can plan for a pop-up. 1-1 now the count here, 1 out, runner on second, 1-1 pitch. Check swing. They'll call it a ball, no appeal. Certainly was close, but no appeal. They will appeal now. It was a late appeal, and they say he did not go, so the count now 2-1 here to Marcoux. Parsons with 3 strikeouts already in this game, including 1 on Marcoux. We'll be trying to get to him again, but here's the 2-1 pitch awaits. It's foul tipped back to the screen, and we'll go now at even count 2-2. Marcoux just looked at a brilliant pitch in his first at-bat, which Parsons put it right on the edge of the zone. Couldn't really swing at it and foul tip it off by the time he realized that he was going to be called out on it. 2-2 count. Parsons sets. Doesn't even look back to second before the delivery. Off the bat here, out into center field, and the center fielder in Fitzsimmons makes the diving play out there, and there's now 2 away. That was a great play there by Fitzsimmons to dive over, get that one, secure it in his glove, and potentially keep a run off the board too. Max Trucks doesn't know speed numbers on him with no stolen bases, but he certainly on that one would have ended up back at the fence. He could have rounded third and head home easily on that one, but Fitzsimmons keeps the run off the board. 2 outs for Cooper Marshall. Popped out to the third baseman, crossing on the infield grass his last time up. Parsons will duel against the righty again. Parsons delivers. Swung on and missed. He got him to chase the low one there. Count goes 0-1. Parsons' low curveballs are very deceptive. He's getting a lot of guys to chase on him here in the early goings. We'll see if the batters for Saginaw can adjust to that. But right now, Parsons has got that pitch working today. Check back to second. The 0-1 pitch is popped high out into left field, coming in and dropping for a base hit. Rounding third and heading home to give the lead. And Cooper Marshall will have himself an RBI single. That one was just a soft blooper that dropped out into left field. And so coming around to score is Max Trucks. And the Saginaw Sugar Beets will play from in front. That'll bring up now Josh Williams here with 2 outs in the top half of the third. A 1-0 ball game now. Williams flew out to center his first time up. He takes high ball 1. 1-0 the count. 1-0 the score. 4 hits for the Sugar Beets. Mariners have failed to record a base hit yet in this game, but still plenty of time. It's only a 1-0 ball game as Williams fouls this one off to the screen. Count will go 1-1. One pitch. Low, ball 2. 2-1 now the count here as Williams holds up on that one. Runner on first is Cooper Marshall, shortstop. Cooper Marshall, by the way, his stolen base numbers are 10 stolen bases on the season, so look for him to run with 2 outs also. 2-1 pitch. High, Hayes picks it out, gets up quickly. Count now 3-1. 2 outs, runner on first. 1-0 ball game as Parsons gathers. Mariners trailing in that 1-0 ball game, by the way. Here comes the pitch to Williams. It's inside, a little bit high, ball 4. And with 2 outs, Williams will get aboard. Runner on first and second now for Connor Sharping. He led off a second with a single before he got picked off at first. He steps in, 1-for-1 on the game. Connor Sharping, right-handed batter versus left-handed pitcher. Man on first is Josh Williams. Man on second is Cooper Marshall. Cooper Marshall, already mentioned, has 10 stolen bases. Josh Williams has 12. He also joined the team late, did Williams. Great pitch there on the high corner there by Parsons to get strike 1. So if they wanted to, they could attempt a double steal for Saginaw, but with 2 outs in a 1-0 ball game this early, I wouldn't picture the Sugar Beets being that aggressive, but you never know in summer ball. Williams is getting a very aggressive lead as well. Hayes picks that one out and makes sure that Marshall knows that he has it in his glove, so Marshall will scamper back to second. He almost, if he wanted to, could sneak Spry back in there at first base and try to see if he couldn't get Williams caught down in a rundown, because Williams is getting practically a third of the way to second base on his leadoff. Count now 2-1, but he isn't the lead runner, which is why he can afford to do that, and why there's nobody covering him at first. Count now 2-1 here. Parsons to Sharping. Here's some scores from around the Summer League as well. In the top of the fourth, the Green Giants lead 2-1 over the Lima Locos. Just a little bit low and outside. Ball 3 here to Sharping. And now Parsons is in danger of loading up the bases here with 2 outs in the third inning. We'll see what Parsons offers here on the 3-1 offering. Again, I said Green Giants leading 2-1. That's a battle for the top of the division in the Northern Division. Top of the fourth, 2-1. Green Giants on top of the Lima Locos in Windsor, Ontario, Canada. 3-1 pitch. This is a high fly ball going out to left field. Back goes Jake McCall. He's going to watch this one drop over the fence. It's a 3-run homer for Connor Sharping. And now it's a 4-0 ball game. For Connor Sharping. That is home run number 1 of the season. And that is RBIs number 28, 29, and 30. It's now 4-0, and I guess Saginaw's got this thing where they do when somebody gets a home run, they bring out a big Uncle Sam hat, so he gets to wear the Uncle Sam hat. And we'll now move to Adam Proctor, struck out swinging his first time up. First pitch here is cut on and missed by Proctor. Charping with 30 RBIs is good for third on the team. They've got Cooper Marshall with 33 and Noah Marcoux with 36. Second pitch here is also swung on and missed, so down to the count quickly is Goody Proctor, 0-2. Of course, if you hear me say Goody Proctor, that is a reference to the play by, oh goodness, now it's escaping me. Play about the Salem witch trials. Cannot think of the name nor the author of it. Now it's a 1-2 as that one misses. 1-2 count here from Parsons. Swung on and missed. Proctor goes down swinging for the second time here today, and the side is retired, but not before the Sugar Beets can add 4 runs on 3 base hits, including a 3-run homer. No men left aboard and no errors. It's 4-0 as we head down to the bottom of the third, and we'll see if Van Acker, R.J. Williams, and Justin Diaz can't provide the response for the Mariners. This is Mariners Baseball on the Mariners Media Network. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. So Youngbauer returns to the mound. His team has given a 4-0 lead to work with here now. And we'll see if the Mariners can't try to respond as we head to the bottom half of the third. Mariners still looking for their first base hit, and Van Acker steps in looking to deliver. First pitch to Van is swung on, popped back, and out of play. Count will go 0-1 to Van Acker. Defense playing pretty much straight up. There is actually, though, the third baseman is playing right in on the grass, maybe looking for a bunt. Now that's low and outside, ball 1. Van Acker not one of the better bunters on this team, especially when he's got bunting professionals in Lake Crossing and R.J. Williams on this roster, but he still can make that bunt play work if they're not catching it. And now with a 1-2 count, third baseman Robinette's going to back off. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. It bounces low. Ball 2 is the count now 2-2. I'd like to thank you all for listening. It's 4-0 here in the bottom half of the third inning. Mariners trailing to the Sugar Beets here at home. 2-2 pitch now awaits. Crossing gets the pitch from Youngbauer. It's low and outside. And now the count full at 3-2. Van Acker coming into today, wearing number 7, hitting 155 with a 279 on-base percentage. He's from Eaton Rapids, Michigan, that attends Alma College. Here's a pitch over. This is a high pop-up in foul territory down the left field line and right in the bullpen at the fence. Robinette, the third baseman, makes the catch, and Acker is retired. R.J. Williams, the right fielder, will now step in. Bowling Green State University man from Pickerington, Ohio. He hits .214 with a .353 on-base percentage. 4-0, Mariners trailing to the Saginaw Sugar Beets at home. 1 out, nobody aboard. Williams, left-handed batter versus right-handed pitcher. Youngbauer gets his sign, stretches his shoulder a little bit, and we were good to go. First pitch to Williams is high, ball 1. Here's the defense now here behind Youngbauer. It is Josh Williams out in left, Marcoux is in center, and Fannin is in right. Ball 2 delivered high and outside again to Williams. 2-0 count. Ryan Robinette is on third base. Cooper Marshall is the shortstop. Sean O'Keefe, the second baseman. Adam Proctor, the first baseman. And it is Sharping doing the catching. 2-0 count here now. Off the bat, a crossing, a good line drive, base hit into right field. And it will be a single with 1 out for R.J. Williams. They'll now bring up Justin Diaz, getting his first at-bat here for the Mariners in this one. Shortstop, wearing number 41 from Chicago, Illinois, since Illinois State just finished his freshman season, took a red shirt there. He has a .290 batting average with a .423 on-base percentage for the Mariners. He's a right-handed batter versus this right-handed pitcher. First pitch is fouled off. He just got a piece of that one to put it to the backstop. The count now goes 0-1. Tell you what, after Robinette had to trip over, throw back to first here, doesn't get Williams as he dives in there safely. He actually, Proctor didn't even end up with the ball. The ball ended up under Williams' leg. But after Robinette had to make a play in foul territory near the bullpen, which are in play, by the way, for Montgomery Field, he actually tripped over the tarps that they have out there. And this one's going to get away here, and that'll allow Williams as the throw back to first. It gets away from Proctor, and so on the throwing error there, Williams will advance to second in scoring position. It's an E1. So the throwing error there advances the Mariners runner into scoring position. Justin Diaz with an 0-1 count. So it's an 0-1 count. 1 out, runner on second. Youngbauer delivers, and swinging and fouling this one off on his foot. Count will go 0-2 here to Diaz. So R.J. Williams gets the first base hit of the game for the Mariners. He then reaches second on the error by the pitcher in Youngbauer. He's now in scoring position. We'll see if Diaz with an 0-2 count can't get a base knock here to score him, because Williams with a lot of speed. A good base hit by Diaz, and it's easy scoring for Williams. Here comes the 0-2 pitch, though, to Diaz. He looks low. Ball 1. 1-2 now the count here to Diaz. Youngbauer looking for his sign. Going up against the Chicago native, who attends Illinois State. Waves off the first pitch, does Youngbauer. He'll go with the second one. He'll take his double take to second before the delivery to Diaz is swung on and missed. And there's now 2 away. And that'll be the first strikeout of the game for Youngbauer. Youngbauer, man, who came in today with 22, now has 23 on the season. Back to the top of the order, and Steven Fitzsimmons grounded out to third his first time up. He's 0 for 1 on the day. R.J. Williams on second, 2 away, 4-0. The Mariners trailing here at home. Youngbauer checks in for the sign, sets. He'll check back to second before the delivery. Actually, correction, he's just going to step off, spin around to hold Diaz. Didn't feel comfortable because with Diaz getting his lead off over there. Diaz does get a correction for Williams. Williams gets a pretty aggressive lead off over there. Fitzsimmons. So center fielder in, he fouls the first pitch off, and the count will go now 0-1, 2 outs. 4-0 ball game in the bottom half of the third. Fitzsimmons, left-handed batter versus right-handed pitcher. Fitzsimmons came in today hitting 149 with a 325 on base percentage. Golden Valley, Minnesota native, who takes ball 1 there. Count now evens up at 1-1. That one missing high. He's a Golden Valley, Minnesota native. He attends Valparaiso, where he just finished his sophomore season as a business management major. Youngbauer checks back to Williams. Williams is actually kind of dancing around over there, waiting for him to throw the pitch. Doesn't end up going, but he does end up about a third to half of the way to third base. He was just trying to psych Youngbauer out, though. Now the count, though, 1-2 to Fitzsimmons after he's fouled off the third pitch. Youngbauer looks in, agrees with the sign he gets from catcher Sharping, checks back to second, and the 1-2 pitch is low and inside, ball 2. 2-2 count with 2 outs. Deuces are wild here in the bottom half of the third. Youngbauer looks in. He'll check back to second now after he gets his sign. He'll deliver the 2-2 pitch inside of Fitzsimmons. The count now full. That was a pitch by Youngbauer there that got pretty close to Fitzsimmons. So now it's 3-2, 2 outs, runner on second, 4-0 ball game here in the bottom half of the third. Youngbauer checks back to second, and 3-2 pitch, steps and delivers. Off the bat here, Fitzsimmons. It'll go to the first baseman and Proctor, who will take it himself, and the side is retired. Mariners do get a base hit. They, however, do leave him stranded. No errors and no runs. Or correction, 1 error in this inning. No runs score as we now head to the top half of the fourth. 4-0, Saginaw leading. This is Mariners Baseball live on the Mariners Media Network. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. Michael Parsons comes back out to the mound here, going to the top half of the fourth. Ryan Robinette, Sean Fannin, and Max Trucks due up for the Sugar Beets that lead 4-0 here at Montgomery Field. 4 more games, if you count this one as well. 4 more games left on the Mariners' schedule. And first pitch here to Robinette is low, ball 1. Tomorrow's game will be against the Sugar Beets. Robinette will ground this one to shortstop. Red glove of Diaz scoops it up, and then the throw over to first is in time. 6-3 the play. 1 away now here for right fielder Sean Fannin. As I was saying, though, tomorrow's game will be a 4:05 first pitch. That will be in Saginaw. In Saginaw Valley State. They don't have lights at Saginaw Valley State in their baseball stadium, so we have to play afternoon games. And the 4-hour bus ride means we have to leave here around 9 or 10 o'clock or so to get there in time for BP and stuff, batting practice. 0-1 here as swinging and missing is Fannin. He swings and misses on the second pitch, and now go quickly 0-2. And then after we conclude our series with Saginaw, the last 2 games will be against Lima. On Saturday, that game against Lima will be in Lima. This one will be tapped up towards Diaz. Red-handed glove makes the play as he scoops it up and throws it over. 6-3 again, 2 up, 2 down for Max Trucks. Led off the third inning, came around to score after he led off the third inning with a single. He got moved to second on the bunt, and then on an RBI single by Cooper Marshall, he came around to score. 2 outs. He bats left here. Max Trucks, that is M-A-X, not Mac, it's Max Trucks. He shows bunt, steps forward, it's called a strike anyway, as he pulls it back, 0-1 the count. that first game against Lima will be a 7:05 start. Then the last game of the season will be against Lima as well. Low and inside, ball 1. 1-1, the count evens up on the check swing. Second game against Lima will be a 4:30 start. It'll be here at home. The Mariners will conclude their season at home. Inside part of the plate there will be called strike 2. Good pitch there by Parsons. Count goes 1-2. And that is, of course, that game is on Sunday. That's how the Mariners will end their season. 2 outs, a 1-2 count. Parsons sets and delivers. A little bit low and outside on a breaking pitch there. The count will go 2-2, evened up. Deuces are wild with 2 outs. 4-0 ball game. Saginaw on top. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. It's tapped here just in between the legs of Hayes, and it's fouled off, though. We'll go again at 2-2. 2-2 pitch. Swung on and missed there by Trucks. The 5th strikeout of the game for Parsons. And the Sugar Beets go in order. 4-0 ball game as we head to the bottom half of the 4th. Mariners looking to try to mount the comeback rally. And it'll start with Blake Crossing, Jake McCall, and Chris Myers. Thank you for listening to Mariners Baseball on the Mariners Media Network. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. Welcome back out to Montgomery Field, bottom half of the 4th inning, as the Mariners at home take on the Saginaw Sugar Beets. It's 4-0 ball game here in favor of the visitors. Blake Crossing, the Dartmouth man, will step back in for his second at bat. He walked in his first plate appearance. He'll be followed up by McCaw and Myers. Youngbauer back on the mound. The starting righty gets ready to deliver first pitch to the switch hitting Crossing, who's going to ground this one to the second baseman. Flips it over to first. And so O'Keefe goes to Proctor, 4-3, and Crossing is retired. 1 up, 1 down for Jake McCall. He flew out into a double play. He flew to left. And then Blake Crossing, who was on first, ran over to second thinking that the left fielder couldn't make the diving play, but he did. And so 7-3, the throw was over to first base. Strike 1 taken there by McCall. The count goes 0-1. Crossing, if you're wondering, did remain on second thinking the play wasn't made. This one, a bouncer in front of the plate. McCall holds 1-1 the count now. McCall, Bloomington, Illinois native, going up against the Saginaw, Michigan native. The 1-1 pitch. Taken a little bit inside. Ball 2. 2-1 the count now. 1 out, nobody aboard. 4-0 ball game in the bottom half of the 4th inning. And now Youngbauer wants a new ball. He'll switch it out. The umpire will examine it and says this one's good for later and puts it back in his pouch. Youngbauer steps on. 2-1 count. Clouds in the area. Hopefully the rain has stayed away, though. We have had to deal with 2 weather delays. This one low here to McCall. Count goes 3-1 quickly to the 3-hitter and left fielder Jake McCall. Rain delayed the start of this game as well as some lightning, and then we had a brief 10-minute or so rain delay when a heavy shower passed through. Grounded down the first base line and foul. Count will go now full 3-2 here to McCall. Myers stepping back in, left-handed batter versus right-handed pitcher. Youngbauer gets his sign. He'll deliver the payoff pitch. McCall will line drive this one up the gut, and that'll be a base hit. The second base hit of the game for the Mariners is a 1-out single for Jake McCall. He now goes 1-for-2 on the day. Chris Myers, the DH, grounded back to the pitcher's mound his last time up. That led off the second inning. He's 0 for 1. Doing the DHing duties here today. Chris Myers came in today hitting .322 with a .396 on-base percentage from Miamisburg, Ohio. He attends the University of Toledo. Just finished his freshman season. It was a good freshman season. I'll talk about it a little bit later as he gets ready, the left-handed batter versus right-handed pitcher. Second at-bat for Myers. First pitch to Myers is right on the edge of the plate, strike one. 0-1 the count here. 0-1 count, one out, runner on first, 4-0 ball game. Saginaw on top. Here comes the pitch to Myers, bouncing out in front of the plate, blocked up there nicely by Charping, keeping that one in front of him, and then doing a gallop out practically to the infield grass to make sure McCall knew that he had the ball. McCall does hold at first. 1-1 count, one out. Youngbauer looks in for his sign, checks back, and delivers. High, ball two, 2-1 the count. Youngbauer steps back on. Looks in for a sign, he'll check back to first, set his grip. And the 2-1 pitch is flown high and out of play by Myers here. And the count evens up at 2-2 here to Myers, left-handed batter from the University of Toledo. See if the Rocket Man can't deliver with a base hit here. 2-2. Youngbauer delivers. Outside, the count now full here to Myers. 3-2. Didn't mention he has that .396 on base percentage. He knows how to draw his walks as well as get his base hits. Youngbauer steps on. The 3-2 payoff pitch is called ball 4. McCall was off and running to second. He'll be able to get in there safely as it's walked to Myers. Two base runners now with one out as Myers gets aboard for the first time via the walk. We'll bring up Tyson Hayes. The catcher flew out to left his first time up. Hayes with a runner in scoring position has a chance for his 14th RBI. And now we're going to have a meeting on the mound here rather quickly with Youngbauer. Youngbauer, again, primarily was a relief man until just a few games ago. And then he got a couple of starts. He's got 3 starts total on the series. Only 19 and a third innings pitch. You got to wonder, perhaps he doesn't go deep into games. As both McCall and Myers are aboard. Myers is the man on first. McCall is on third. They're going to leave Youngbauer out there as the meeting on the mound is almost concluded. Coach will head back now to the dugout. And now here comes Charping to return back behind the plate. It's up against Tyson Hayes, the catcher, right-handed batter. One out, runner on first and second. 4-0 ball game. Saginaw still on top, but the Mariners are looking to threaten that lead a little bit now. Tyson Hayes does have 2 home runs on the season. Both of those came on the road. But this is certainly a home run happy ballpark. The shortest outfield in the Great Lakes Summer League. Hayes certainly tries to deliver home run number 3 there, but he fouls it off and out of play. Just couldn't get all of it. Now the count goes 0-1. Youngbauer steps on. Runner on first and second. An 0-2 pitch. He'll check back to McCall at second. And now Youngbauer delivers. Hayes ends up hit here on the arm. And so the bases are loaded with first baseman. He grounded to short his first time up. With the bases all aboard and all loaded up, we'll see how Spry goes. He has 11 RBIs on the season. And we'll see how he goes here as he goes up against Youngbauer. Lefty in the box, righty on the mound. This will be a base hit past the shortstop who makes a diving play. They will hold up Myers there at third. And the Mariners' first run in McCall crosses the plate. It's an RBI single for Evan Spry. Bases are still loaded. 4-1 ball game. That's the third base hit of the game for the Mariners today. Youngbauer still has to deal with the bases loaded as now right-handed batting Van Acker steps in. He Attends Alma College, of course, in Alma, Michigan. He is from Eaton Rapids, Michigan. Here comes the first pitch to him. He cuts and misses. That count goes 0-1. Bases loaded, 1 out. Here comes the delivery. This one will be right there on the outside at the knees. Don't know if that was a good pitch or a bad call. Could have gone either way, as that one was a very, very good call for the pitcher. The count goes 0-2. Here as now pitch is cut on and missed. Down goes Van Acker swinging. That'll be the second strikeout of the day for Youngbauer. With the bases loaded, there are 2 outs now. 4-1 the ball game. And that'll bring up R.J. Williams. He is 1 for 1 of the game with a single. He reached second on an error by the pitcher. His only time on the bags back in the third. There's a ball delivered first on the inside to Williams. Looks a little bit high as well. R.J. Williams getting his second at-bat with runners in scoring position. Or correction, with the bases loaded. He cuts and misses there on that one. He goes now even in the count, 1-1. With runners in scoring position, he doesn't have a base hit, but he did get a walk, which brought in an RBI. He didn't get a base hit, though. He could get that chance. The Mariners, all in all, with the bases loaded coming in today, hitting .233. RJ chases the high heat there. Now the count will go 1-2 to Williams. .233 with the bases loaded for the Mariners this season. 37 runs batted in total. 2 outs, 1-2 count here. Williams, who does know how to work counts and get patient, he's down in the hole though, 1-2. We'll see how Youngbauer approaches this with Williams. The 1-2 pitch is off the bat of Williams. Is going to be a high flyer out into left field. It'll get dropped past Josh Williams. That'll score at least 1. Rounding third and heading home. And now they'll send the man from first as it's bobbled out in center field by the left field by the shortstop. And so it's a bases clearing 3 RBI double for R.J. Williams. Crossing the plate was Myers, Hayes, and Spry. And now we are all tied up as he now becomes 1 for 2 with runners with the bases loaded. Does Williams. That's his second base hit of the game. It brings in 3 RBIs, and it's a double. That one was fumbled out to the cutoff man in left field to the shortstop in Marshall. Otherwise, they may have only held it to 2 runs scored. But R.J. Williams getting hot here in this one. He's now 2 for 2 with 3 RBIs. We're tied at 4. Diaz steps in now, runner in scoring position. He takes high, ball 1. 2 outs for Diaz. Justin Diaz with runners in scoring position this year is .222 with 3 RBIs. He's going to knock this one towards left field, and Josh Williams, the left fielder, gets underneath that one, and the side is retired. The Mariners march back and respond. Here in the bottom half of the 4th, they get 4 runs on 3 base hits. 3 of the runs batted in were from R.J. Williams. For R.J. Williams, by the way, those RBIs are 5, 6, and 7 on the season. So 4 runs score on 3 base hits. 1 man was left on base, no errors in this inning. We'll now head to the top half of the 5th, tied at 4. You're listening to Mariners Baseball on the Mariners Media Network. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. Michael Parsons returns out to the mound. The Mariners have responded to the 4th spot put up in the 3rd. They put up a 4th spot in the 4th, and we are tied at 4 here at Montgomery Field. It's a brand new ball game, and now Parsons will be going up against Sean O'Keefe, Noah Marcoux, and Cooper Marshall. Sean O'Keefe laid down a sacrifice bunt in the 3rd to move Max Trucks from 1st to 2nd. He goes up here against Parsons for the 2nd time today. Nobody aboard as he leads off. First pitch is just a bit outside, ball 1. The 1-0 pitch, swung on and missed. O'Keefe went fishing and came up with nothing but dust. Count will go 1-1. O'Keefe. Pitch delivered here. This one will go by. Actually, Van Acker making a diving play, but will have no play as that one got too far away from him on the stop, but he did keep it out of center field. And so that will be a base hit and a leadoff single for the Sugar Beets and Sean O'Keefe. We'll go back to the top of the order now. Runner on first, no outs for Noah Marcoux. He's 0 for 2, struck out looking to lead off the game back in the 1st. Flew out to center his last time up in the 3rd. He's 0 for 2, getting his 3rd at-bat of the day. First pitch is swung on and missed here by Marcoux. Swinging the bat very aggressively here today. He's got a .430 on-base percentage. You would think that would mean, perhaps he knows to be a little bit more patient, but today we've seen him swing the bat a lot. Perhaps power hitter mentality. He does lead the team with 6 home runs. Correction. He's 2nd on the team with 6 home runs. And now it's an 0-2 count here quickly to Marcoux. So that one's called strike 2. Checking back to first. Parsons wasting no time. Off the bat here. It's a high fly ball out to center field, but no carry allows Fitzsimmons to stand in his same position and get underneath that one. Fitzsimmons didn't so much as have to flinch for that one as he just stood there and made the catch. 1 out, runner on first. Cooper Marshall delivered an RBI single back in the 3rd, then came around to score on a 3-run homer by Connor Charping. He is 1 for 2 on the day, is Marshall. Cooper Marshall, who attended Western Michigan University for the Broncos, he had 25 appearances and 14 starts, hit .244 with 10 RBIs and a .370 on-base percentage. Before Western Michigan, he had spent a couple of years at Kellogg Community College. Here comes the first pitch. Nope, it'll be a throwback to first just to hold O'Keefe at bay. O'Keefe does only have 1 stolen base on the season. Sun continuing to set out in the west and right field. This one is a high flyer off the bat into center field. It'll drop for a base hit. And 2nd single of the inning. That'll be the 7th base hit of the game. 6 of which, by the way, have been singles for the Sugar Beets. The only other base hit that wasn't a single was a 3-run homer by Charping. So runner on first and 2nd, 1 out. That brings up Josh Williams, 0 for 1 on the day with a walk back in the 3rd as well. He flew out to center his first time up when the side was retired in the 1st. There is somebody up and throwing now in the bullpen for the Sugar Beets. Can't quite see who it is, though, out there. I think it might be number 30. First pitch here to Williams. Is strike 1. I do believe it is number 30, Jack Taggett. That was ball 1. 1-0 now the count here to Williams, right-hand batter versus left-handed pitcher. Next pitch to Williams is a little bit off the plate. Ball 2. Runner on first and 2nd. The runner on 2nd is Sean O'Keefe. Cooper Marshall is on first. 2-0 the count here to Williams. 1 out. 4-4 ball game in the top half of the 5th inning. Mariners have scored 4 unanswered to tie the ball game. That all came in the bottom of the 4th, too. Here comes a pitch to Williams. It's low, blocked up there by Hayes to hold the runners at their bases. Count will go quickly 3-0, though, to Williams. Parsons checks back to 2nd, gets his sign. He'll deliver 3-0 pitch to Williams. Outside corner at the knees. Good pitch there by Parsons. Strike one, 3-1 now the count here. Parsons has got to work himself back into this count here without giving too much away to Williams. Williams was taken all the way on that one just to kind of see how Parsons would go at him. It's a 3-1 count now here. One out, delivered here to Parsons. And this one will be fouled off down the left field line and out of play. Count now full, and Parsons has gotten himself back into this one. So lefty on the mound, righty on at the plate. It is Jack Taggett warming up in the bullpen for the Sugar Beets. Talk about him if he comes into the game. Parsons steps, delivers the 3-2 payoff pitch. High fly ball out into left field. Back goes Jake McCall, running back towards the fence. And it will drop right there on the warning track. Heading from second and scoring will be Sean O'Keefe. Rounding third will be Cooper Marshall. And it'll be a 2 RBI double for Josh Williams. It's now a 6-4 ball game. Sugar Beets respond to get back on top. So 2 RBI double for Josh Williams. That's the third base hit of this inning and 8th of the game for the Sugar Beets. Connor Sharping, the catcher, 2 for 2 on the day with a single and a 3-run homer, stepping in for his third at-bat. Saginaw Sugar Beets back on top, 6-4, 1 out here in the top half of the 5th. First pitch is bouncing out in front of the plate, blocked up there nicely by Hayes. And now it does appear with the Saginaw Sugar Beets back on top, the bullpen has gone quiet for the Sugar Beets. And this one looks like a base hit, dropping into center field. McCall is going to throw in and hold the runner at third. Now here comes the throw down to second. Looks like they're going to try to catch him here. Running into third, sliding into Parsons. He's out! And now heading into third on the throw is Sharping. So let me get this right. McCall made the play on the hop out in left, threw into the infield. Hayes gathered it, threw down to second as on the throw. On the throw, Sharping tried to head from first to second. On that throw, heading from second to third was Josh Williams. And then on the, heading from third to home on that play, the throw home, sliding into Parsons, who had the ball in hand, caught out the lead runner in Williams. The run does not score, 6-4, 2 outs. Now runner on third. And Parsons is in business here. He's got the 0-1 count here to Adam Proctor. 0 for 2 on the day. Now he's 0 for 2 on the day, the 1-1 count. He struck out swinging his 2 times up here today. Left-handed batter Proctor versus left-handed pitcher Parsons. Parsons delivers low ball 2. The count goes now 2-1. Parsons checks back to third before the 2-1 pitch. Off the bat here, high fly ball out into right field, going back to the fence, and R.J. Williams going to watch it drop over and out of play and out. So that'll be a 2-run homer there for Connor Sharping. And now it's an 8-4 ball game. Saginaw Sugar Beets back on top by 4. Second home run of the game for the Sugar Beets. And this time it comes from a man who struck out twice. And Proctor, that is his third home run of the year, and RBIs 15 and 16. 2 outs. Brings up the top of the brings up Ryan Robinette. 1 for 2 on the day with a single and grounded to third his last time up. He's going to pop this one high into left center. Coming over will be Fitzsimmons, and the side is retired. Well, they put 4 back up on the Mariners here in the top half of the 5th. Saginaw will take an 8-4 lead as we go to the bottom half of the 5th. Mariners will try to respond, and it is Stephen Fitzsimmons, Blake Crossing, and Jake McCall due up for the Mariners. This is Mariners Baseball on the Mariners Media Network. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. So Ryan Youngbauer returns back out to the mound, with a lead once again as the Sugar Beets lead 8-4 after another 4th spot was put up in the top of the 5th inning. So the scores have come in. The scoring has come in 4s here today. Mariners scored 4 in 1 inning, and 2 sets of 4 for the Saginaw Sugar Beets, put them up 8-4. Bottom half of the 5th inning as Stephen Fitzsimmons leads it off for the Mariners. First pitch is off the bat of Fitzsimmons and out of play past the third base dugout. Will go at 0-1. Here comes the 0-1 pitch to Fitzsimmons, who swings and misses. The count goes 0-2. Fitzsimmons, for Valparaiso this past spring, he had 16 appearances, 3 starts, 174 batting average with an RBI and a 345 on-base percentage. He takes low, ball 1, 1-2 now the count. One-two count here now to Fitzsimmons, left-handed batter versus right-handed pitcher. He takes high, ball 2. 2-2 now the count here. Tell you what, Sharping tried to frame that one, but couldn't get the call. Fitzsimmons leading off here. 2-2 pitch delivered from Youngbauer is popped high into right field. Coming out will be the second baseman, and making the catch is O'Keefe, the second baseman. Fitzsimmons is now 0 for 3 on the day as we move to Blake Crossing. He is 0 for 1, grounded out to second. His second time up, he walked in his first at-bat, back in the first. Of course, batting left here, the switch hitter versus the righty. There's somebody, once again, up and warming up in the bullpen for the Saginaw Sugar Beets. Crossing shows bunt, takes low as he pulls it back. 1-0 the count. I do not know if that is still number 30 and Taggett out there, or if it is somebody else now warming up for the Sugar Beets. I'll get you that information when it's available. The 1-0 pitch from Youngbauer. Crossing cuts and misses. 1-1 now the count. Youngbauer steps back on. The 1-1 pitch is check swing, held up there nicely by Crossing as it bounces low. Count now goes 2-1. Crossing for Dartmouth this past season had 33 appearances and 32 starts. He was second on the team with a .319 batting average, 11 RBIs and .438 on-base percentage. Crossing is going to knock this one into center field, but Josh Williams will be able to make a play on it, and now there's 2 away. That'll bring up Jake McCall. He is 1 for 2 on the day with a single back in the 4th. He got it all started for the Mariners in the 4th. He did come around to score on the Evan Spry RBI single. Now 2 away, nobody aboard. 8-4 the score here in the bottom half of the 5th. McCall steps in for the 3rd time today. Left-handed batter is McCall. He takes first pitch low, ball 1. McCall, for Illinois State this past spring, which was his freshman season, he played 14 games and had 12 total starts. He hit .182 with a .315 on-base percentage, hit 4 doubles and 5 RBIs. He takes the outside edge of the plate there, strike 1. The count evens up now 1-1 to McCall. Youngbauer delivers the 1-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. The count goes now 1-2 to McCall. Pitch. Fouled off towards the third base bullpen. Goes hard off the fence, startling a couple of the spectators along that fence right there. Now the count goes 1-2. It holds. Youngbauer steps and delivers. Off the bat, it's going to be a line drive. And though right coming over and making the play is the center fielder in Marcoux. Hit hard, but a little bit too far, and Marcoux makes the play. And the Mariners go in order in the bottom half of the 5th. We'll go to the 6th inning. Sugar Beets on top, 8-4. And this is Mariners Baseball on the Mariners Media Network. Don't go anywhere. I shall be right back. Michael Parsons comes back out now here for the 6th inning, 8-4 ball game. Saginaw Sugar Beets on top here at Montgomery Field over your Grand Lake Mariners. Still plenty of time for the Mariners, though, to jump back in this one. For the Sugar Beets and leading it off, it will be Sean Fannin, the right fielder, 0 for 2 on the day, grounded to short in the 4th and struck out looking in the 2nd. Here comes the first pitch to him. It's outside, ball 1. Fannin played at Lawrence this past season. He had 45 starts. He hit .343, checks the swing on a low outside fastball. Count goes now 2-0. Those 45 starts, he hit .343 and 37 RBIs, 14 doubles, 5 triples, 4 home runs, and a .421 on-base percentage. Fouls this one down, and then on his backswing, he's going to clip it to the backstop. Count goes 2-1 now to him. Right-handed batter. There is somebody up and throwing in the Mariners bullpen. I can't see them, but I can't hear it. Fouling it back again, and now it's a 2-2 count here to Fannin. My location on the first base line gives me a great view of the field. However, I do lose a bit of foul territory down the right field line, and I do not see the Mariners bullpen. Swung on and missed, and Fannin goes down swinging. For Parsons, that is his 6th strikeout of the game. So he's having a pretty good day command-wise. He's getting the swings and misses, but he's still on the losing end of this one as it's 8-4. 1 out. That brings up Max Trucks, the DH, 1 for 2. He's a strikeout victim and also gotten a single. Right there, the knee-high fastball. Parsons delivers strike 1. Parsons steps, delivers the 0-1 pitch. Strike 2 on the breaking ball on the outside edge of the plate, 0-2. And now step, deliver the quick 0-2 pitch. He checks his swing, takes low, ball 1. 1-2 the count. And swung on and missed there. Trucks goes down swinging. Back-to-back strikeouts for Parsons to begin this inning. Strikeout number 7 delivered. And now he'll go against the 9-hitter, Sean O'Keefe. 1 for 1 on the day with a single and a sacrifice bunt. 2 outs, nobody aboard. 8-4 the score here at Montgomery Field and the top half of the 6th inning. Sugar Beets on top of your Grand Lake Mariners. Parsons steps, delivers the first pitch. Good pitch on the edge of the plate there, strike 1. Tell you what, Parsons wasting no time in this inning. He is just going right at it. He gets his first sign and he steps, delivers quickly. He's working a fast tempo. Fouled off here by O'Keefe. Count goes quickly 0-2 with 2 outs. Parsons gets the new ball. He'll step on, get his sign. Says, yeah, we'll go with that one. Gets his grip and steps, delivers the 0-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. He strikes out the side, and they go in order. Parsons, all business in the top of the 6th. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th now. 8-4 Saginaw on top for the Mariners. Chris Myers, Tyson Hayes, and Evan Spry due up. Thank you for listening to Mariners Baseball, live on the Mariners Media Network. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. So Ryan Youngbauer's day is done. He goes 5 innings, gives up 4 runs, all of which were earned on 4 hits, walks 2, and strikes out just 1, in line for the win if this result were to hold. Jack Taggett, now the man on the mound, wearing number 30 in his 13th appearance of the season for the Sugar Beets. He is from Frankfort, Michigan. He attends Kalamazoo College. He has a 7.10 ERA and 12 2/3 innings pitched. He's given up 10 extra base hits, which includes 3 home runs, punched out 9, and walked 11. He steps on now here in an 8-4 ball game going into the bottom of the second. Chris Myers will lead it off for your Grand Lake Mariners. Myers is 1 for 3 on the day with a single. He's also flown out a couple times as well. Myers, the second baseman, stepping in now. Correction, Myers, the DH for the day, stepping in now. Leading off, trying to get his second base hit and get aboard for the second time here in the game. Mariners have already come back from a 4-run deficit once in this game. We'll see if they can't do it again. Off the bat of Myers here into right field. It'll drop for a leadoff single. Wasting no time, Myers jumps on the first pitch. Much like Parsons, all business for Myers. Well, if you're just tuning in with us, here's how the scoring has happened. In the third inning, correction, the Saginaw Sugar Beets jumped out first, including an RBI single by Cooper Marshall and a 3-run homer by Sharping. Strike 1 called there to Tyson Hayes, batting 5th, 0 for 1 with a hit by pitch in this game. Mariners responded in the bottom of the 4th. They got him loaded. An RBI single by Evan Spry scored in Jake McCaw, and then a 3 RBI double by R.J. Williams brought in Myers, Hayes, and Spry. 1-1 now the count as that one's called ball 1. And then in the top of the 5th, off the bat of Hayes here, going back to center field. He's out of room. It's out of here. Tyson Hayes delivers with his 3rd home run of the season. It's now 8-6. The Mariners jump back within 2. Rounding third and scoring is going to be Chris Myers, and now Hayes will follow up behind him for Tyson Hayes, the catcher. As I already said, home run number 3, RBIs 14 and 15. Mariners are back within 2. No doubt about it, off the back by Hayes, as that one was just shot out to straightaway center. 2-run homer. Mariners are back within 2. Evan Spry, RBI singled his last time up. He is 1 for 2 on the day. He takes strike 1. Here comes the first pitch to him. Second pitch to him is fouled off. Past the third base dugout, he goes down in the count 0-2. Nobody aboard, no outs. 8-6 ball game. Mariners got their 6th base hit on that one. This one will be tapped back here to Taggett, who flips it over to first. 1-3 the play there. There's now 1 away for Van Acker. 0 for 2 in this game. Struck out swinging his last time up. Popped out to third, his first. He bats right here against the righty. By the way, for Taggett, that was home run number 4 given up on the season. I said this is very much a home run ballpark. On the outside edge of the plate there, Acker takes strike 1. 0-1 the count, 1 out, nobody aboard, 8-6 the score. The 0-1 pitch, bouncing out in front of the plate. Acker takes all the way. Count evens up at 1-1. Taggett steps back on. And this one on the outside corner at the knees. Strike 2. 1-2 now the count here to Acker. Taggett steps, delivers the 1-2 pitch. Bouncing out in front of the plate. Acker takes the count now 2-2. 2-2 count, 1 out, 8-6 ball game. Taggett delivers. Bouncing again, holding up his Acker. The count now full, 3-2. Only 1 out. If 1 out, R.J. Williams due up after this. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. Acker cuts down and misses. Cuts and misses. He'll go down swinging. There's now 2 away. Second time that Acker has struck out here today. R.J. Williams 2 for 2 with a single and a 3 RBI double back in the 4th. Steps in. And about just past the halfway point of this one. R.J. a prime candidate for player of the game, but he's got some stiff competition with Tyson Hayes, who's brought this back, I think, too, but still a lot to happen. And we'll see how it goes. 2 outs. First pitch to Williams is cut and missed. On a good pitch right there on the outside corner. It was a good deceptive pitch there by Taggett. Had good last-minute motion. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Showing bunt and holding up is Williams. The count will now go 1-1 as that one's low and outside again. Same basic spot on that same pitch. This time on the bunt, he doesn't go. Now the third baseman is going to play in. Robinette is going to play in on the grass. Chasing low, ball 2, 1-2 now, as swinging and missing on that one, or strike 2, correction, as swinging and missing on that one is R.J. Williams. Taggett, as I've already observed, as I'm now observing, likes to try to work that bouncing curveball. Swung on and missed, strike 3. R.J. Williams goes down swinging. 2 strikeouts for Taggett in this inning. The Mariners do score 2 on a 2-run homer by Tyson Hayes. That was on 2 hits. No men left aboard and no errors in this inning. We'll now head to the top of the 7th. 8-6, Mariners back within 2. Don't go anywhere. This is Mariners Baseball on the Mariners Media Network. I shall be right back. Top half of the 7th inning as the Mariners come back out. It's an 8-6 ball game. Mariners were able to get 2 in that 6th inning. And a 2-run homer by Tyson Hayes that also drove in Chris Myers. Noah Marcoux, the top of the order, due up for the Sugar Beets. Marcoux is 0 for 3, couple of flyouts to center, and a strikeout for him on the day. Parsons back on the mound here for the 7th inning. Still somebody warming up in the Mariners bullpen, though, I believe, as I can hear the sound of a ball in a catcher's mitt. Here comes the first pitch. Marcoux cuts and misses. By the way, I believe all 3 at-bats, Marcoux has chased the first pitch. So he'll go down on the count 0-1. Parsons steps off and will go again. Parsons was all business in that 6th inning. He just went out there and clicked off 3 strikeouts like it was nothing. He has 8 strikeouts in this game already. He's in ahead, 0-1 over Marcoux. And now we're going to have a meeting on the mound here between Hayes and Parsons. Something got crossed up there. They'll clear it up. And now Parsons back on the mound. Hayes back behind the plate. Let's go on the 0-1 count. Play on, says the umpire. Marcoux. Left-handed batter versus left-handed pitcher. 0-1 pitch. Good pitch right there on the outside corner at the belt. 0-2 here quickly now. The 0-2 pitch. Just a little bit low. Ball 1. 1-2 now the count here. Marcoux. At Davenport this past spring, which was his freshman season, had 30 appearances, 17 starts. He hit .233 with 10 RBIs. He checks on the swing low. That bounces. The count evens up now at 2-2. The 2-2 pitch, low, ball 3. Now the count is full to Marcoux, 3-2. Parsons will gather his grip. He'll get his sign, step. We await the payoff pitch. He'll step off and we'll go again. Check for the signs. Parsons steps off again. And now he gets back on. Marcoux takes a practice swing. Steps back in. Lefty-lefty matchup here. Parsons ready, delivers the payoff pitch. Swung on and missed. 4 straight strikeouts now for Parsons. And that's his 9th punch out of the game. 9 punch-outs for Parsons, 1 away now as we bring up the right-handed batting Cooper Marshall. He takes ball 1 there, 1-0 the count. Marshall is 2 for 3 on the day with an RBI single back on the 3rd and a single in the 5th. Came around to score on the 2 RBI double by Josh Williams. Count quickly 2-0 as Parsons misses again. The count now 2-0. This one high, ball 3. Just a little bit part of this order right here. The 2, 3, and 4 hitters starting to see Parsons perhaps pitching them a little bit differently than the rest of the lineup. This one's going to be a high fly ball out into right field, and it will be hit hard, but it'll be hit foul and out of play. That one had stayed fair. That one could have been some trouble, but it will just be a 3-1 count now as that one goes out of play down the right field line. 3-1 pitch. The call ball forward just a little bit low, so 1 out base runner now as Cooper Marshall gets aboard for the 3rd time here today, this time on the walk. Josh Williams 1 for 2 on the day with a walk and a 2 RBI double. Back in the 5th will step in, but not before Damon Hacker, the head coach for the Mariners, is going to step out, and this might be the day. No, it is not for Michael Parsons. Parsons had taken the ball out of his glove like he might have been handing it over, but Damon Hacker is going to say, and now it actually will be the end of the day. They make the signal, they make the call, and we'll talk about the new pitcher on the other side of this break. Michael Parsons' day ends. And we'll talk about his numbers on the other side of the break as well. Thank you for listening to Mariners Baseball on the Mariners Media Network. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. Michael Parsons' day ends. He went 6 1/3 innings. He gave up 8 runs, all of which were earned on 10 hits. He walked 2 batters, including the last batter he faced, and he punched out 9. He is in line for the loss if this result were to hold. It's 8-6 right now here, top half of the 7th inning. New pitcher on the mound is Bradley Calhoun, wearing number 3 from Troy, Ohio, in Otterbein College. He is 1-0 on the season. This will be his 12th appearance. He's got a 9.19 ERA in 15 2/3 innings pitched. He's given up 10 extra base hits, which includes 6 home runs, 12 strikeouts, and 2 walks for Calhoun. Calhoun actually pitched yesterday. He just went 1 inning, gave up 2 runs on 1 hit, and walked a guy as well. Something requested from his college coach to the coaches here in the Mariners staff is that he pitch in back-to-back days, so he's getting the chance here to do that. Williams is going to hit this one high into left center. McCall looking for it. He finds it and makes the catch, and that will retire the second batter. Calhoun on the first pitch gets the F7 there, and that'll bring up Connor Charping. Charping is 3 for 3 on the day. He singled in the second, a 3-run homer in the third. He had a single in the 5th. He reached all the way to third on a bunch of throws that eventually caught the lead runner on the bags out at home. 2 outs now for Calhoun, runner on first. Charping, throw back here to first before we go. Charping, though, the right-handed batter, is in at the plate. Charping wearing number 40 at Western Michigan. The Broncos this past season had 7 appearances and 1 start. He hit .364, had an RBI and a .462 on-base percentage. That was his freshman campaign. Not a bad appearance. Again, catchers primarily don't play a lot their freshman and sophomore seasons, just due to the nature that you don't have them rotating as much as, say, some of the other guys. 2 outs now. We await the first pitch, and now we get it to Charping. Runner goes as this one will be tapped here. Trying to make a diving play was Diaz, but he couldn't get to it. There will be now runners on the corner. As off and running on that pitch was Josh Williams. He now stands on second. Correction, not Josh Williams. Cooper Marshall. He now stands on third. Almost a good play there by Diaz. He just couldn't quite get his right glove to it. There's now 2 away. Runners on the corners. First base hit of the inning, and the first base ace hit given up by Calhoun. We now have a pinch hitter is Ryan Missel. He will now come to hit for Adam Proctor, first baseman. Ryan Missel now batting in the 5-hole. We'll see how that means, what that means defensively on the other side of this break. But Missel hitting .276 with a .345 on base percentage, steps in, taps this one down the first base line. Spry will be able to take it himself, and the side is retired. There was 1 base hit, 2 men were left aboard. No runs crossed the plate and no errors. We'll now head to the bottom half of the 7th inning stretch. 8-6 the score for the Mariners. Justin Diaz, Stephen Fitzsimmons, and Blake Crossing due up on the other side of this break. This is Mariners Baseball on the Mariners Media Network. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. Jack Taggart returns out to the mound now here, getting his 2nd inning of work. He'll be going up against the 9-1-2 hitters for the Mariners. Justin Diaz, 0 for 2, will be leading it off. Taggart gave off a leadoff single back in the 6th and then gave up a 2-run homer to Tyson Hayes. That's why we're at an 8-6 ball game now. Mariners trying to continue that comeback from being 4 down when it was 8-4. They were down 4-0 to start this game. Then in the 4th, they were able to put up a 4-spot, tie it up, gave up 4 in the top of the 5th, and now have responded. We'll see if they can't continue the answer as Diaz, right-handed batter, goes up against the right-handed pitching Taggart. First pitch to Diaz is hit high out to right field, going back at the fence, not enough carry, and on the warning track, making the catch there is Fannin. Boy, that one was pretty deep, but right there near the fence, Fannin was able to make the catch, and Diaz goes down for the 3rd time here today. Stephen Fitzsimmons, 0 for 3, steps in for the 4th time here today. He's grounded out to 3rd, 1st, and also popped out to 2nd. Here in the bottom half of the 7th, 8-6, 1 out. Fitzsimmons takes ball 1. A little bit high, 1-0. 1 out, nobody aboard for the Mariners. 1-0 pitch, bouncing in front of the plate. Count now goes 2-0. Some updates here quickly from some scores around the lead. 2-0 count here to Fitzsimmons. Before we go, we'll wait that pitch. 2-0 pitch. high 3-0 how quickly to Fitzsimmons. Green Giants have extended their lead at home over the Locos in the bottom of the 7th, 4-1. The Monarchs-Clippers game in Flat Rock has been canceled. This one low, ball four straight pitches, walks Fitzsimmons. He'll get aboard for the first time here today, and there's a one-out base runner. Brings up an 0-for-2 man, Blake Crossing, who walked in his first at-bat. 0-for-2 with a walk is the Dartmouth man, Crossing. The Xenia Scouts lead 3-1 in the top of the 8th over the Cincinnati Steam in Xenia. Hamilton Joes have a 7-1 lead over the Galleon Graders in the top half of the 8th. That's in Hamilton. Leprechauns and Copperheads tied at 6 apiece. Tied it. Well, it did say tied it. No runs apiece. Now suddenly there's 8 runs on the Copperheads board. So it's actually 8-0 Leprechauns trailing in Irish Hill territory. Here comes a 1-1 pitch now. Crossing takes. Again, low, ball 2. 2-0 here quickly to Crossing. Fitzsimmons is on first. Time called here. Now the catcher Charping is going to have a conversation with his pitcher. And we will await. It was a quick conversation. Must have just been said, hey, throw this pitch. A couple of love taps and get back to business. 2-0 count now here. 1 out. Crossing switch hitter batting left here against a righty, as always. 2-0 count here. Taggett delivers. This one will be down the right field line and will drop just foul. Count will now go 2-1. Just a little bit out in front of that one was Crossing. Otherwise, that one could have been down the right field line and could have been trouble, as Fitzsimmons is fast out there on the bags. He has 6 stolen bases. He's also an outfielder, and he's got a lot of speed. So he could have scored from first if that one had continued to roll, but he definitely would have been at third. Crossing's going to foul this one back behind the third base dugout, and we'll go now 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 1 out here. Bottom of the 7th, spot 8, an 8-6 game. Mariners trailing by 2 here at home as the sun has set and the lights are on. Crossing takes high, ball 3. The count now goes 3-2. Taggett delivers the 3-2 pitch. The payoff pitch is ball 4 high. Fitzsimmons was off and running on that one. He'll go into second. And back-to-back walks here with 1 out. And Taggett has worked himself into a little bit of a jam. There was somebody up and throwing in the bullpen. We'll see if they make the move. The pitcher out there, can't quite see who it is waving his hat, saying he's ready. Conversation on the mound. They haven't taken the ball away from Taggett yet. Nope, it's just going to be some instruction here from the coach. So we'll wait their meeting to end. Was a brief one, as now coach and catcher go away from the mound and let Taggett go to work. 1 out, runner on first and second for Jake McCaw. Batting third, wearing number 50, McCaw. 1 for 3 on the day, flew out to center in his last at-bat in the 5th. He singled in the 4th, came around to score on the RBI single by Spry. And he's also flown out as part of a double play back in the 1st. First pitch to him is on the inside edge. Strike 1, 0-1 here to McCaw. McCaw could give the Mariners a lead with 1 stroke of the bat. Here, we've seen him deliver with a couple of home runs already this season. 3 to be exact. Most recent, the last one of the game. He checks his swing. This one gets away. Here comes a throw down to second. It's a high throw. And second in the shortstop. The shortstop and Marshall did a great job of keeping that one out of center field, because Charping delivered that one high. He probably shouldn't have thrown to begin with. That one bounced away from him towards the first base dugout. Runners were off and running. There was really no chance for them to try to get Crossing. And really, that could have been 1 more run for the Mariners if that one had not been a great pick out there by Cooper Marshall, because that was a high throw. Anyway, 2 runners now in scoring position for Jake McCaw. 1-1 count. Crossing is now on second, and Fitzsimmons is now on third. The potential tying run is on second. McCaw takes outside, ball 2, 2 on the count, 1 out, by the way. Runners on second and third, 8-6 the score. Mariners have gotten their 6 runs on 6 hits, 11 hits for the Beats. Really high, ball 3. It's now a 3-1 count. 3-1 count now here to McCaw. Left-handed batter versus right-handed pitcher. Runner on first and second. Taggett sets and delivers. McCaw takes ball 4. They're all loaded up again. 3 walks load up the bases, and the day is over for Taggett. Here comes the coach, and the second mound visit means you must come out. So Taggett's day ends with 3 runs, with 3 potential runs on the board for him, on the bags. We'll step aside, 1 out, bases loaded. Mariners trailing 8-2. I'll be right back to talk about the new pitcher on the other side of this break. Don't go anywhere. This is Mariners Baseball on the Mariners Media Network. So Jack Taggett's day is over. The book is not closed on his story, though, in this one. He left the bases loaded, and coming into a bases-loaded jam is right-handed pitcher Adam Kowalski. In his 12th appearance of the season, he does have 1 start. He has a .276 ERA in 13 innings pitched. He has punched out 12 batters, walked 8. Yeah, Kowalski from Arlington Heights, Illinois, Indiana. He attends the Indiana Institute of Tech. Comes into this one, bases loaded jam. All those runs, if they score, would be charged to Taggett, and if all 3 of those runs score, Taggett would be in line for the loss if a 9-8 game were to pursue. The runner on first is Jake McCaw. Blake Crossing is on second. Steven Fitzsimmons is on third. By the way, all 3 of them were via walks. With 1 out, bring up Chris Myers, the DH. Singled his last time up in the 6th, walked in the 4th. He is 1 for 2 with a ground out play back to the mound in the 2nd. Myers stepping in now, wearing number 40, the man from the University of Toledo, and a big opportunity here. Mariners have already scored once with the bases loaded, and that was R.J. Williams fouled off here by Myers. The count will go 0-1. R.J. Williams drove in 3 runs on a 3 RBI double back with the bases loaded previously. 0-1 though, the count here, 1 out to Myers. Here comes the pitch. Myers cuts and misses. Count goes quickly 0-2. Count here to Myers. Kowalski gets his sign, will step on the 0-2 pitch. Myers cuts and misses. And a strikeout there for Kowalski. There's now 2 outs. That'll bring up Tyson Hayes. He is 1 for 2 on the day. Flew out to left in the 2nd. He was hit by a pitch in the 4th and a 2-run blast to center field back in the 6th. He steps in, bases loaded. First pitch to him is called strike 1 right there on the edge of the plate. 0-1 the count here to Riggs. Or correction, to Hayes. Next pitch to Hayes is cut on and missed. He definitely looked like he did not want to swing on that one because it was kind of a quick snapback on the swing, but he definitely did go around. He's now down to the count 0-2. Tyson Hayes with runners on base hits .209. He has had 2 at-bats with the bases loaded, has not registered a hit, but this one's a high fly ball out into left, but not a lot of carry. Josh Williams will step aside for his center fielder to come in and make the play. Marcoot Missile will make the play, and the Mariners leave them loaded. They left 3 men on base, no errors, no hits, and no runs cross the plate. Mariners are down 8-6 as we head to the top half of the 8th. Thank you for listening to Mariners Baseball on the Mariners Media Network. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. Bradley Calhoun comes back out now for the 8th inning, the top of the 8th. Calhoun got the last two outs in. Calhoun got the last 2 outs in the 7th inning. He did allow a base hit, but he kept runs off the board. 8-6 the score here in the top half of the 8th. It is Ryan Robinette, Sean Fannin, and Max Trucks due up for the Sugar Beets. Hello, I'm Donovan Mann, the voice of the Mariners, bringing you the last couple of innings here for Mariners baseball. They trail 8-6 against the Sugar Beets here at home. Ryan Robinette awaits his opportunity as Calhoun delivers the last couple of warm-up pitches. Mariners were down by 4 twice in this game. They tied it up once, and then they got back within 2 most recently. It's 8-6 the score. They left them loaded in the bottom of the 7th. And now leading off the top of the 8th, Robinette steps in, right-handed batter versus right-handed pitcher. Robinette from Midland, Michigan, steps in. He is 1 for 3 on the day with a single. He's grounded out and flown out as well. First pitch to Robinette is popped high, and crossing, not even on the outfield grass, catches it on the first pitch. Robinette is retired. He falls to 1-4. Then I'll bring up Sean Fannin. He's 0 for 3, a couple of strikeouts and a ground out here today. He is struck out both looking and swinging. One of those strikeouts was part of a 3 strikeout inning for starter Michael Parsons. By the way, for Jack Taggett, he only gives up 2 runs after he left them loaded. Kowalski gets them out of it. So none of those runs score against him. This one inside here from Calhoun to Fannin. Count now goes 1-0. 1 out, nobody aboard. Top half of the 8th. Strike 1 called there. This time he finds where that area right there in the high corner at the belt inside. At 9:30, we are about 2 hours into gameplay, but there was 2 hours and 5 minutes to be exact. But there was a shower there that caused a brief 10-minute disruption. Good pitch there by Calhoun on the slight curveball there to catch the outside corner at the knees. 1-2 now the count. Calhoun looks for his pitch. He'll step, and the 1-2. Swung on and missed. Down goes Fannin on the strikeout. It's the 3rd time he has struck out here today. And the Mariners pitching has had his number. First strikeout of the day for Calhoun, 10th for Mariners pitching overall. Brings up Max Trucks, 2 out, nobody aboard. 8-6 the score. Trucks is 1 for 3 on the day with 2 strikeouts and a single. Lefty at the plate, righty on the mound. Check in for the sign, he'll gather, and the first pitch to Trucks is out into center field. Line drive, base hit. Second single of the game for Trucks as Fitzsimmons throws this one back into the infield. And with 2 outs, there's a base runner now on that single. And Sean O'Keefe, 1 for 2 on the day with a single. Struck out swinging his last time up, but he's also delivered a sacrifice bunt. 8-6 the score here at Montgomery Field in Salina, Ohio. Calhoun taking his time here. Try to get set. You don't want the pitcher to rush at all. Just kind of let him settle in, get into his groove. That's what pitching is all about. You got to get into your rhythm, and Calhoun is doing that. He misses high and inside there to O'Keefe. 1-0. 2 outs, runner on first, 8-6 the score. 12 hits for the opponents of the Mariners today, 6 for the Mariners. The 1-0 pitch is thrown back here. Trucks dives back in time, and we'll go again at 1-0. Calhoun looks in for his sign. He'll step, gather his grip, and a 1-0 pitch. High fly ball out into left field. Back goes McCall towards the fence. It'll drop right there at the bottom of the fence. Throwing in here to the infield, and they will hold up Trucks at third. It'll be a 2-out double for O'Keefe, and now 2 runners in scoring positions for the Sugar Beets. Runner at third is Max Trucks. Reached there off the double by O'Keefe, who now stands on second. Marcoux, 0 for 4, steps in now, getting his 5th plate appearance. He's got a couple of strikeouts and a couple of flyouts to center. And here comes head coach Damon Hacker to talk to Calhoun. This may be the day for Calhoun. Looks like it just is going to be a conversation between pitcher, catcher, and coach. Just kind of talk over the situation, kind of say, okay, this is what we need to go through. Don't overstretch. And actually, they do now make the signal. Calhoun's day is over. We'll talk about the new pitcher on the other side of the break. Calhoun, though, does go 1 1/3 innings in this game. And we'll talk about the other pitcher on the other side of the break. This is Mariners Baseball on the Mariners Media Network. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. So, for Bradley Calhoun, he goes 1 1/3 innings pitched. He gives up 3 hits, and he punches out a batter without walking anybody. He is responsible for the man on second and third, though, but no runs given up by him yet. Andrew Loudermilk now steps on for his appearance here today. Andrew Loudermilk wearing number 14, getting his 9th appearance of the season. He is 0 for 1 with a 4.50 ERA in 10 innings pitched. He has punched out 4, walked 2, and given up 3 extra base hits. He's from Pearland, Texas. Attends Texas Permian Basin, where he had 18 appearances, 55 2/3 innings pitched, and a 6.95 ERA. He did allow 6 home runs. Loudermilk will be facing Noah Marcoux with a runner at second and third. There are 2 outs, though, here in the top of the 8th. Mariners only trailing by 2. Loudermilk's job is to keep it that way and give the Mariners a chance to respond in the 8th. Marcoux, the left-handed batter, will step in. Again, he is 0 for 4 is Marcoux. A couple of flyouts to center and a couple of strikeouts on the day. All his appearances at the plate were against the starter in Parsons. He was also Parsons' last strikeout of 9. Once again, swinging on the first pitch is Marcoux, and he fouls this one out of play. 0-1 the count. Loudermilk, not your super strikeout pitcher like a lot of guys, but he does get his outs. He's a pitch-to-contact guy. He'll get his ground balls and high fly balls that end up outs. Now, there's more than one way to pitch, and a pitch-to-contact guy is certainly just as effective as a dominant strikeout pitcher. 0-1 the count here as Marcoux steps back in. Loudermilk delivers. Good pitch right there. Makes it quickly 0-2 against Marcoux. Milk checks in. Loudermilk. He's up ahead in the count 0-2. He takes a little bit, but does get his sign. Reminder, there is a man on second and third. Here comes the 0-2 pitch to Marcoux. It's outside, ball one. Retreating back are are Max Trucks on third and Sean O'Keefe on second. 1-2. He definitely goes around. Loudermilk gets the strikeout, and the side is retired, and Calhoun doesn't give up any runs. We'll now head to the bottom half of the 8th inning after no runs crossed the plate on 2 hits, 2 men left the board, and no errors. We'll now head to the bottom of the 8th, and the Mariners will go up against Adam Kowalski again. Thank you for listening to Mariners Baseball on the Mariners Media Network. I shall be right back. Evan Spry, the first baseman, now steps out into the left-handed batter's box to face Kowalski, the right-handed pitcher. Defensive change to let you know about. Third baseman Robinette has been replaced by Daniel Page. Got to imagine that'll be a move in the lineup as well. But we'll see when it comes around. First pitch to Spry here is way outside, ball one. It's also very high. If I didn't let you know about the other changes in the last inning, when Proctor was replaced by Missile in the lineup and a pinch hitter, Marcoux went from center field to first base, outside ball two, the count now 2-0, and Missile went out to replace Marcoux in center. 2-0 count here as Kowalski delivers the 2-0 pitch to Spry. It'll be a high fly ball. Out to left, going back at the fence. Josh Williams coming over. He does make the play right at the line, right at the fence as well. Tell you what, if that one had dropped as out of play, I do not know if that would have been a home run or a foul ball, as that one was right at the fence. I would have loved to have think, yep, that was a solo home run for Spry that just didn't carry far enough. But that one was right at foul territory. Josh Williams had to run over. Very close. Anyway, there's now 1 out. And that brings up Van Acker 0 for 3 on the day with a couple of strikeouts. First pitch to him is strike 1. 1 out. Van Acker takes outside. Ball 1. 1-1. The count now evens up here to Acker. Acker in a rough stretch right now. He is 0 for his last 23 at the plate. There are 2 walks spreaded in there, but it's just not been a one. And this one will be fouled off as he's just out in front of that one. He'll go down to the count 1-2. I for real thought the broadcaster's curse was about to be at works there, as that one sounded like it could have been a base hit. Anyway, he is 0 for 23 with a couple of walks mixed up in there for his last few plate appearances. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. It's high, ball 2. And you know, as a baseball player, you're going to have those dry spells, but when they happen, you feel like they're never going to end. And I'm sure Acker's just hungry for that next base hit. Here comes a 2-2 pitch. Fouled off here, and on the bounce, assistant coach Nico Puenteo makes the play. Two-two the count, 1 out, nobody aboard in an 8-6 ball game. Visiting Sugar Beets out on top here at Montgomery Field in Saline, Ohio in the bottom of the 8th. 2-2 pitch. Off the bat here into foul territory. Almost hitting the catcher out there that's warming up. I don't even think he realized how close that one was. That one nearly almost hit him in the back of the head as he was leaning over and stretching. Anyway, it's 2-2 here to Acker, who's putting up a good at-bat right now. Kowalski steps on, delivers the 2-2 pitch to Acker. It's high and maybe a little bit inside, as that one might have gone over the head, actually, of Acker. The count now full to the second baseman as Kowalski steps on, looks for his sign. Acker, right-handed batter versus right-handed pitcher, 3-2. Payoff pitch delivered. Foul back and out of play. We'll go again at 3-2, 1 out. Three-two pitch with 1 out. This one's a high fly ball out into right center. Coming in will be the right fielder and making the play as Fannin makes the catch. There's now 2 away. And Acker put up a nice at-bat, but ends up flying out to right. 2 away now. It's an 8-6 ball game still with 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th. R.J. Williams 2 for 3 on the day with a single, a 3 RBI double, and he struck out swinging his last time up. With nobody aboard and 2 outs, we'll see if he can't start something here for the Mariners. Kowalski delivers the first pitch. It's high and outside, ball 1. 1-0 the count here now to Williams, the Bowling Green State University man, who for the Falcons this past season had 39 appearances, 22 starts. He takes inside, ball 2, also a little bit low. 2-0 now the count. 39 appearances and 22 starts for R.J. Williams at BGSU this past season. A 288 batting average with 3 RBIs and a 391 on-base percentage. Also had a couple of doubles. 2-0 pitch is high outside again. Now it's 3-0. Kowalski looks in for his 3-0 pitch. We'll see what he gives Williams here, and we'll see how Williams approaches this 3-0 offering. He'll take all the way as it's a knee-high fastball. 3-1 now the count. Somebody up and throwing once again in the bullpen, and it looks like it's Billy Blair for the Saginaw Sugar Beets, number 14. We'll talk about him if he comes in. He might be the closer if this game continues to be 2 runs in the bottom of the 9th. Swung on a miss there by Williams. The count now goes 3-2, 2 outs. We await the payoff pitch. Kowalski looks in. He likes his sign. Nobody aboard. And he sets, delivers the payoff pitch to Williams. High fly ball out, foul territory, down the left field line. Coming underneath it is the left fielder in Josh Williams anyway. And the side is retired. They go in order. There's an F8, an F9, and an F7 in this inning, and the Mariners go in order here in the bottom of the 9th. We go now to the 9th in a 2-run ball game, 8-6. Mariners trailing, due up for the Saginaw Sugar Beets in their last chance to try to add some insurance runs against your hometown Mariners. Cooper Marshall, Josh Williams, and Connor Sharping are due up. Thank you for listening to Mariners Baseball on the Mariners Media Network. Don't go anywhere. I shall be right back. So welcome back out here, top of the 9th inning. Mariners trailing 8-6 here at home. They'll have one more chance here, but Andrew Loudermilk will make sure that it's only a 2-run ball game. He and the defense will make sure that it's only 2 and give the Mariners a good chance at a comeback walk-off in the bottom of the 9th. To lead it off will be number 24, And Cooper Marshall, the shortstop, he'll take just a little bit low, I'm guessing, ball one. Looks like a pretty good pitch to me, but they'll call it ball one. Cooper Marshall is 2 for 3 on the day with a couple of singles, one with an RBI and a walk. He takes high now, ball 2 to another count. Marshall has also popped out to third. That was in his first at-bat. Since then, he's gotten aboard 3 straight times. The 2-0 pitch from Loudermilk. Good pitch on the outside edge. Count goes 2-1 as that's called strike one. Reminder that the Mariners and Sugar Beets will be back at it again tomorrow. This time it'll be in Saginaw, swinging and missing. And are you playing Go Fish there, Marshall? That was really good chase and a very great pitch by Loudermilk to get him to chase that one. Now the count goes 2-2. Here comes the pitch, and it ends up hitting him on the leg. So 2-2 count ends up a hit by pitch. Marshall gets aboard. So that's what I was saying, though. Saginaw Sugar Beets will be hosting the Mariners tomorrow in the 4th and final game of the season between these two ball clubs in a Northern Division matchup. And into that one, that will be in Saginaw Valley State University. They don't have lights there, so it'll be a 4:05 start time between these two clubs. We'll be leaving Salina around 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning, give or take. Here comes the first pitch. It's high pop-up by Page. It will not go very far as Hayes gets underneath this one, and he makes the catch. By the way, that was Daniel Page, his first at-bat of this game after he replaced Robinette defensively. He pops back out to the catcher, and there's now one away with a runner on first. That now brings up Sean Fannin. He is 0 for 3 on the day with 3 strikeouts, and he's also grounded out. Correction. It's actually Connor Sharping. I'm looking at the wrong space. The reason I thought that was that was actually Daniel Page. He replaced Josh Williams in the batting average, so we'll see how that works out. But now Sharping takes strike one right there at the belt. Good fastball by Milk. So Sharping is actually 4 for 4 on the day with 3 singles, one of which he got all the way to third on a few throws that ended up catching a man out at the plate, and he also has a 3-homer. Next pitch to him is grounded right here to Crossing. He's going to flip it over to second for 1, back to first, but it will not complete the double play as Sharping is able to beat it out. Man, he's athletic for a catcher. Fielder's choice, 5-4. There's now 2 outs. Runner at first, and Ryan Missel, number 4, left-handed batting. For center fielder now steps in. He'll go up against Loudermilk with 2 outs. Runner at first. 8-6 the score. Runner goes. Tyson Hayes will throw down. It'll be into center field as Diaz cannot come up with that throw. It looked like a pretty good throw there from Hayes, but Diaz had brought it around before he could get it, before it was firmly in his glove. That'll be the first error of the day on the Mariners, and Sharping is in scoring position. So 1-0 count here now to Missel. 0 for 1 on the day, grounded out to third unassisted his first time up. Here comes a big swing and miss, chasing the high heater there. Count goes 1-1. One pitch. Loudermilk checks back to second, and this one will be fouled off, backing out of play by Missel. The count goes 1-2. 1-2 count here now to Missel as Loudermilk looks in for his sign. It is worth noting, by the way, Daniel Page, who came in defensively for Ryan Robinette, did not bat in Robinette's place. He batted in the place of Josh Williams, the left fielder, so we'll see how that works out defensively. That one missing there from Loudermilk, 2-2. And very interesting, I think, interestingly enough, Ryan Robinette is in the on-deck circle. Might not matter as this one goes out to the fence and R.J. Williams can make the catch. And the side is retired right there at the fence. The catch is made. Thank you for listening to Mariners Baseball on the Mariners Media Network. Don't go anywhere. I will be right back. So Adam Kowalski goes 1 2/3 innings pitched, doesn't allow any runs, hits, or walks. And he did punch out one batter. Coming in for the save and to try to close the door on the Mariners is Billy Blair. Billy Blair, this will be his 15th appearance. He also has 3 starts on the season, by the way. He has an 8.46 ERA and 22 1/3 innings pitched. He is 2 saves already on the season. 3 extra base hits, giving up 23 punch-outs and 18 walks. Mariners trailing by 2 here in the bottom of the 9th. And a possible 9th inning rally. We've seen it a couple times already this season. We'll see if they've got another one in them here. And game number 39 of the season. Correction, game number 38. No, I'm correct. 39. 39's right. So Billy Blair back out on. I missed this change, by the way. Back when I mentioned the defensive change, which Page went out to third, Robinette got moved out to left field, and Josh Williams was removed from the game. That's why Page was batting in Williams' spot. That was not translated clearly to us in the press box by the umpire. Justin Diaz, the shortstop, leading it off here. Speaking of comeback rallies, or just rallies in which the Mariners won in the 9th inning, Justin Diaz started that all off yesterday against the Lake Erie Monarchs by a leadoff double. He came around to score the winning run in the top of that 9th inning on a wild pitch. Let's see if he can't get something started here for the Mariners again. He's got a 1-0 count as Blair misses. Blair steps off and will go again. In that game in which I mentioned for Diaz yesterday, in which he had that double, that was his only base hit of that game. He was the 8 hitter then. He gets ball 2 delivered to him there. He's up in the count now, 2-0. The 2-0 pitch. Diaz tries to check his swing. They'll say he went around, and that'll be strike 1, 2-1. The pitch was in the lower part of the zone. For reference, now the 2-1 count. No outs here to the leadoff man Diaz, who takes low and outside. Ball 3. Diaz at a favorable 3-1 count. Already somebody up and throwing in the bullpen for the Saginaw Sugar Beets. Might be number 13, Eric Fritz, but I can't quite see. 3-1 count as Blair will step off. And now there's a 3-1 count. Blair will step back on. His step off is not that far off either. He's taken a while, and now he'll step off again. And again, his step off is just barely backwards. And we'll go again at 3-1 count. He steps and delivers. Diaz will swing and miss, and now the count is full at 3-2. 8-6 the score here in the bottom of the ninth inning. Mariners trailing by 2 here at home. Trying to start a comeback. After Diaz, it'll be Stephen Fitzsimmons and Blake Crossing due up for the Mariners. The 3-2 pitch to Diaz is fouled off. And we'll go again at a 3-2 pitch. Diaz, right-handed batter versus right-handed pitcher. Stepping back in is Diaz. Stepping back on is Blair. He'll deliver the 3-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Diaz goes down swinging. The second time Diaz has struck out. The first strikeout of the day for Blair. One away here in the bottom of the ninth. 8-6, Mariners trailing, and Stephen Fitzsimmons will be due up. He is 0 for 3 with a walk in his last plate appearance back in the 7th. He was part of a bases-loaded situation with only 1 out. He stood on third when the side was retired. 1 out now here to Blair. Delivers the first pitch. Good curveball there. Makes it now 0-1. Blair will step back on. He'll look for his sign. He'll set. And the 0-1 pitch. Outside, ball 1 to Fitzsimmons. Playing leadoff for the first time here this season. And he's 0 for 3 on the season with a walk. Or on the day, correction, with a walk. 1-1 pitch, 1 out, nobody aboard. He takes another good curveball there by Blair. Will make it 1-2. 1-2 count here. Fitzsimmons. Mariners have gotten 6 base hits in which they've scored their 6 runs. And 13 for their opponents, who've scored 8. Off the bat here of Fitzsimmons out into center field. It's going to drop in the gap, and that should be a double as Fitzsimmons rounds first and will head into second. The throw was offline to the second baseman, and so a 1-out double for Stephen Fitzsimmons, and the tying run is at the plate now. And Blake Crossing, who's 0 for 2 with 2 walks on the day. Runner on second in its scoring position. Tying run at the plate for Blake Crossing. After Crossing, it'll be Jake McCall in the on-deck circle. But first, we await the Crossing at-bat. Crossing, with runners in scoring position, has hit .355. He takes ball 1 there. Crossing, with runners in scoring position, has hit .355. And has 17 RBIs. We'll see if he can't deliver here. 1-0 pitches off the bat of Crossing. It's high into left field. And it is foul, well foul, into the bullpen of the Sugar Beets. By the way, I can now see who's up and throwing as he turns around to get that ball. It is Jordan Williams up and throwing in the bullpen for the Sugar Beets. It's a 1-1 count now here to Crossing. Blair checks back to second to make sure Fitzsimmons stays put. The 1-1 pitch. Inside, ball 2 to Crossing. 2-1 count. 8-6 the score here in the bottom half of the ninth. Mariners trying their one last opportunity to try to come back. In this one, they have fought back all game. They were down by 4 twice in this game. They got and tied it up once. High and inside and limbo out of the way. Crossing now has a 3-1 count. The second time they were down by 4, it was 8-4. They've come back by 2, and they're trying to complete that comeback. Runner on second, and the tying run is at the plate. 3-1 count here to Crossing. And the pitch to Crossing is swung and tipped back towards the first base dugout. The count now full, 3-2. McCaw in the on-deck circle would represent the winning run if Crossing were to get aboard for the Mariners. Blair checks in for his sign. He does have Fitzsimmons to worry about at second. Fitzsimmons with 6 stolen bases. We'll see if they decide to run him. Crossing will cut down and miss. 2 strikeouts for Blair, and the Mariners are down to their last out. So now McCall will represent the tying run. He is 1 for 3 in this day with a single back in the 4th. He walked in the 7th. He's flown out a couple of times as well. One of those flyouts was part of a double play. Left-handed batting McCall will step in. Again, it's an 8-6 ball game. Mariners have a runner on second. McCall represents the tying run. McCall takes inside, ball 1. McCall could be a guy to tie it himself with one swing of the bat. He does have some power, and we've seen it here in this month of July, including yesterday. He did deliver with a home run for the Mariners. Back in the 8th, he tied it up when it was 6-5 when they needed him most. He takes low, ball 2, 2-0 the count here to McCall. When they needed something, he got delivered. He tied it up at 6-6, and the Mariners eventually went on to win that game in the 9th inning. 2-0 now the count, 2 outs, runner on second. McCall at the plate. McCall will crack this one off the bat. He is out in front of that one, but it was sent really hard into the Mariners bullpen down the right field line. 2-1 now the count here to McCall, who with runners in scoring position has hit .368 this season and driven in 21 runs, including he also has had a home run with runners in scoring position. 2-1 pitch to him. High fly ball, and in shallow center, coming in is the center fielder in Missile. He makes the catch, and that will retire the ball game. Mariners do get 1 hit. It's a double by Fitzsimmons, but he is left on the base. No errors and no runs cross the plate. The Mariners drop this one to the Saginaw Sugar Beets by a final score of 8-6. Sugar Beets will now be 2-1 on the season against the Mariners. For the Mariners, and on the year, by the way, Saginaw is now 23-15. And if the results hold, this is a potential clinching game for the Sugar Beets, who are 3.5 games up, or 2.5 games up. And they are 2.5 games up. If Muskegon wins one of their games tomorrow, it still stays alive. But right now, Saginaw very close to clinching that final playoff spot in the Northern Division. Mariners fall to 16-22 on the season, and that will be about it. The player of the game is Tyson Hayes, the catcher. He was 2 for 3. He came around. He scored 3 runs. He crossed the plate 3 times, including a 2-run homer. He was hit by a pitch today. Tyson Hayes, your player of the game for the Mariners. That'll conclude my broadcast. I'd like to thank you all for listening. I'm Donovan Mann, the voice of the Grand Lake Mariners. I'll see you tomorrow at 4:05 as the Mariners finish the season series against the Saginaw Sugar Beets. But for now, have a great night and go Mariners. I'll see you tomorrow.